All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. Yeah, and it's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson. Um, which of course we get the inspiration of doing these lessons from the Most High Yahweh by Shimi Hawashai. But I'm in the book of Jeremiah right now, about to finish it out. And the other day I read chapter, I was in chapter 42, around that 42, 43, 44. And today I read 48. And now, leading up to this point, the Most High, or should I say at this point in time, the Most High had Jeremiah prophesying nothing but straight judgment. Judgment, mainly on, Israel, especially those who try to flee from the judgment. Because you had some who Nebuchadnezzar didn't take, the poor of the people. He set a certain man up, Nebuchadnezzar, to be the new so-called leader over Israel. But nevertheless, eventually they started fearing. Because look, they told Jeremiah, and look, I'm gonna share my screen. But I'm gonna just kind of mention this just to kind of build, a little bit to the lesson. But they told Jeremiah after Nebuchadnezzar came and left, they said, "Look, Jeremiah, go to your God," which of course it was their God too. But they knew the Most High, was dealing with Jeremiah. But they say, "Look, Jeremiah, go to your God, ask for mercy." They say, "Anything the Most High tell you, Jeremiah, we gonna do it." So Jeremiah went to inquire, to the Lord, and the Most High said, "Look, tell them don't run." Don't go to Egypt. Don't try to run. Stay in Judah, and it's going to be all good if they stay right here in Israel. So Jeremiah wouldn't tell him that. Man, Jake, crazy. So Jeremiah wouldn't tell him that. And as soon as he told him, look, the Most High said, stay here. They said, man, he ain't say that. They said, he ain't say that. It's in like chapter 42, 43, around there. They said, he ain't say that. Man, you lying. So guess what Jake did? Jake packed their bags and still went to Egypt. Well, the Most High had Jeremiah go tell him, well, since y'all didn't listen, the Most High said the same judgment go still come to y'all in Egypt, but worse. So that kind of, it was still on my mind. But then I got to chapter 48 today, and he was prophesying against Moab. And I was reading this in the KJV and the NLT, but it's the version of the NLT that kind of sparked my spirit to want to go ahead and do this lesson. Because it's kind of been on my, like I said, since I read 42 a couple of days ago, 43, 44 around now. But this kind of brought it out. And matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that precept first. So this Jeremiah 48. Now, mind you, this is a prophecy against Moab. I'm going to go to the whole chapter. And it's the NLT version. It's a prophecy against Moab, but we're in a time so ain't just Moab about to be judged, man. The nation of Israel about to be judged first and foremost. Then you're going to have the nation of Edom going to be judged right along, with Jake, if not worse. Because Esau got a great judgment prophesied against them, first and foremost, man. But you got Israel and Jacob, the two, Israel and Edom, the two main nations that's about to get judged. But look, Jacob's trouble will be across the whole world. Every nation about to go through it, man. Every nation about to suffer. So what we about to read right here, yes, in the prophecy about Moab, as you see, the header says a message about Moab, but this could stand for everybody. So this is Jeremiah 48 and 44. And that's kind of gonna bring me into the lesson that look, we're in a time great judgment coming. It ain't gonna be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, man. This Jeremiah 48 and 44 in the NLT. It says, those who flee in terror will fall into a trap, and those who escape the trap will step into a snare. I will see to it that you do not get away, for the time of your judgment has come, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai. This could definitely stand for any and everybody, not just Moab, man. And we in that time. Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great, It is even the time, right? It ain't just one day, it's a time period. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But I hope as well we're gonna be saved out of it. Because look, the Lord coming back, even before the Lord come back, a lot of people about to get judged. Even look, some of our family, your favorite cousin and your auntie and your uncle, you know, a co-worker you may be cool with. Yeah, we about to see judgment, a neighbor up close. And it look, it might be close. But we in that time, man, nobody about to get away. Even so much, look, the Lord said he gonna start at his house, those who in this truth, man. That's what make it even more fearful. That's why Habakkuk, I believe, had to say this in judgment. Remember, let's get this real quick. Because we know great judgment too. It says, "Oh Yahweh," and was afraid. What's the speech? These things that's coming are for the sake of the lesson, the judgments that's coming, the judgments that's here. Come on, they ain't come, they here. So it says, "Oh Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, I have heard thy speech and was afraid." Right? Because just like um Noah, Noah heard about this flood, just like it said in Hebrews, the 11th chapter about him, and he was what? He feared it. So therefore, he built the ark. That was mercy shown. So we hearing this message, and it says, and was afraid. Now let's get to the point. O Yahweh, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known, here it is, and in wrath, remember mercy. In wrath, remember mercy. Because look, man, although we serve the Most High, out of everybody in the world, we know of Him. On a, I want to say a personal level, but we have been intimate with the Lord, man. We've been praying to Him, His Son, calling on Him. He's been saving us out of situations already. Look, we believe in Him. We know what's coming. We know He was once referred to as Al-Shadia, a terrible demon-like power. But this the thing, man. Again, we know what our God is capable of. This the thing. We haven't ourselves in this point in time seen that power like that, though. Yeah, we've seen people get judged in some horrific judgments. You know, car wrecks, or you may fall off a building or burn, burn to death. You know, a baby gets shot in Chicago in the head. You know, we hear those things, but we talking about the ground opening up like it did when it was coming out of Egypt. And you had Korah, Dathan, and Abiram trying to come up against Moses. The Most High opened up the ground, them and they followers, and closed it back up like nothing never happened. This is the same God that flooded the earth, sent fire down on Sodom and Gomorrah. We haven't seen that type of power yet, although we know it's coming. We believe in it, so therefore we ask Him before it come, Lord, when you do this, remember me. Remember me, my family. Have mercy on us, and therefore that reminds me of what that is, Second Peter the 3rd chapter. It says, "Sin, all these things shall be dissolved," right? Even so much that fire coming, the type of judgments that we talking about. It says, "Seeing all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in holy conversation and godliness?" So the Lord, look, even Thawadi Bashim Shah, that He gave us the insight on what's about to happen before it do, giving us time to get right. That's why it also said in Peter before it got to the fire, it ain't that He taking long, it's that He giving us extra time to get right, so we don't have to go through the judgment, man. Let's go back to this. This is Jeremiah 48 again and 44 NLT, and we can move on. It says, "Those who flee in terror." So if you try to run from this judgment, whatever the Lord got set for you, like He told Jeremiah, if they try to come, let's see if I can find it. Those for captivity to captivity. Right? So look, just like that's Jeremiah right here, coming to him. They could be coming to, the prophets for answers. Look, got grabbed up at a concentration camp, and think they escape and now they good, not knowing, look, okay, you escape from that, but something else coming. That's gonna be the thing. People run from man. Yeah, you could look, people look, like the TV show Prison Break. Yeah, you could escape jail. You could have a blueprint tattooed on you. You got all of the, escaping from Alcatraz, right? You can do that. You can go on runs from man, from the police, not the Most High Yahweh though, not Yahweh Shai though, because remember, judgment given unto Yahweh Shai now, and He will make the same calls on judgment as the Most High would. You see, but you can run from man. You can't run from the Most High. We can't see spirits. Like I think it said about Antiochus, the Most High had a death angel following him, if I'm not mistaken. Come on, man. That's the type of times we coming in. But let's read this real quick. Jeremiah 15 and verse 2. Jeremiah 15 and 2, it says, and it shall come to pass if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Right? Wait, what we gotta do? You give us answers. Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith Yahweh, such as are for death to death. Look, tell them, look, and look, man, in that day, the Lord gonna have it on our spirits. We gonna know men judgments. Just like Peter, with Ananias and Sapphira. He knew they lied on spot, said, look, y'all about to die. Same breath, he said it, they died. You see? We're in the end of the world. This is where the most action-packed scenes be in the movies, at the end of the movies. This is where it's going down at, especially in America. But it says, thus saith Yahweh, such as are for death to death, and such. So if it's meant for somebody to get died, we'll probably look in that day, tell them, yo, judgment. Hey, as soon as you leave, as soon as you think you about to escape this concentration camp, running from the judgment of the Lord, right? Is in the scriptures, a lion will be out there to meet you. Like the young prophet, the old prophet told him what? Since you came back and eat, you ain't listen to the Lord, you ain't gonna make it home and you ain't gonna be buried with your fathers. And a lion came and ate the man up. So that was an example. He was meant for death and it happened. So if something meant for an individual in these times, guess what? That individual can't escape him. We're dealing with the Most High. Remember, it's not man that we running from, or man could run from, or no, we can't run from the Lord. Impossible. Even King David came to, that conclusion. I'm gonna get that next. But it says, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for famine to famine, and such as are for captivity to captivity. Let's read the NLT. And if they say to you, but where can we go? Tell them, this is what Yahweh says. Those who are destined for death to death, that's where you can go. That's where you can go. Those who are destined for war to war. Those who are destined for famine to famine, and those who are destined for captivity to captivity in them concentration camps in the times we in. But let's get that what King David said. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull this up in the KJV and the NLT. I'm gonna do that. So this is Psalms 139. Let's see. I'm gonna read the KJV. Now again, check this out. It says, and it's beautiful. Even well, it's gonna get into it because I was about to mention these people going into the underground bunkers, but King David go mention it in a way. So there's Psalms chapter 139, and I'm gonna start at verse 1 in the KJV. It says, "O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me." And look, the only one. That's for everybody ever created everything on earth. This pertains to them too. The Most High know it. Yahweh Shai know it. Look, Yahweh Shai told a woman by the well, look, woman, they ain't your husband. They ain't your husband. I forget how many he said. You got 5 of them or 6 of them. And the one that's in your house now, they ain't yours. You ain't married. But continuing on, it says, thou knowest my downsetting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it all together. Now check this out. It says, verse 7. I'm gonna start at 6. It says, such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain it. Verse 7 is getting to the point now. So King David about to ask, whether shall I go from thy spirit, or whether shall I flee from thy presence? Come on, think of, hey, for brothers who've been at my crib. So back here where I stay, they got a dark sky compliant, which means it can't have much lights, too many lights. You see, even if like certain street lights, they gotta shoot straight down. It can't have a forward throw or a side to side throw. But that means, the at night you can see more stars, you can see more. But one night I was just in my backyard, and I'm looking up, and it was just, and we think about the scriptures, we think about the law, we in all his glory we serve him, but it was just, man, fearful to look up there and understand, not even understand, but how great, spacious, what's up there. We can't fathom, man. Look, the scriptures say the angels tremble in the presence of the Most High, man. You see? But it was one day I was looking up, man. The clouds was dark, thundering and lightning. It was it was humbling in a sense. Kind of like you want to just go in the house and get away from it. You don't want to look up. That's a fearful thing, man. Thunder and lightning from the Lord, man. That's a fearful thing. So going back to this, it says, whether shall I go from thy spirit, or whether shall I flee from thy presence? And that's another thing that's got to be added on to the end of the world. These signs in the heavens, man, it's gonna be, man, different weather and chariots, man. But it says, whether shall I go from thy spirit, or whether shall I flee from thy presence? So King David asking, where can I go? He says, verse 8, if I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, which is in the ground, it says, behold, thou art there. So look, people, Jeff Bezos trying to go to space. Look, you trying to escape the Most High, he there too. Well, you going closer to him. Well, really, I can't even say closer, because he just everywhere. He just is. That's his name. It says, if I make my bed in hell, which is in the ground, look, these underground bunkers, as we was mentioning a while ago, these underground bunkers that these celebrities got, these government officials, guess what? Behold, thou art there. The Most High, his presence is there. It says, if I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, what's the people who was in the submarine with a PS2 controller that got smashed? Right. It says, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. Guess what? The Most High everywhere. Ain't nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. How much more in these times when judgment coming, the end of the world type judgments, stuff we haven't seen before yet. Verse 11, if I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, right? Trying to turn off the lights and, put the cover, when we're small, watching a scary movie or something, you'll put the covers over your head until the morning or something till you fall asleep. Guess what? Even the night, like none can see you, it says, even the night shall be light about me. If somebody thinking they hiding from the Most High in the dark, it says the dark is as light to him. It's like the lights on. He looking straight at you, man. We're dealing with the Most High, and that's what a lot of people forgot. They forgot about a true fear of a higher power. That's why these times they're gonna be even that much more special, because it's gonna bring shock to a lot of people. It's gonna seem unmerciful how the Most High treat these people, but it's not, because he's been showing mercy. But the way he about to get down and make his name known is gonna seem so unmerciful that it's coming from God himself. But again, mercy have been sent out. Let me read this real quick. I think it's in Amos. It might be in Amos 8. That's what I'm thinking about. And I'll wind it down. Let me see how long I've been going. 19 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna wind this down in a few. So there's Amos chapter 8. Is it 8? We getting confused, and they bear. It's like a barrel. All right, so it was Amos 5. So this Amos chapter 5 and I'm gonna start up verse 18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord, it's like the day of the Lord is darkness and not light." And it's going to describe it. It says, as if a man did flee from a lion. So look, you run from one situation. You're going to have people escape death in these times. Because remember, Yahushua said what? I'm going to say one thing and I'm going to make my point. Yahushua said, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. It's not going to be only the elect that's going to endure unto the end to be saved. The Most High go allow some of the most wicked people in this world ever created to endure unto the end to be here for the greatest judgment, man. Which, you know, hey, the Lord gonna raise spirits anyway. But the point is, he gonna allow people to endure all these 6 troubles, that's it saying Job, and when the 7th come, just to be here for missiles and fire from the chariots. Look, Yahushua might put them to death himself, just like he gonna do the ones who pierced them. You know, he called them out personally in the scriptures, man. Yeah, who would ever thought Jesus hold grudges, right? Right. Nobody would have ever thought that. But yeah, Yahushua do. That's how serious it is. Over 2,000 some years, he still feel played about what they did when they put that spirit to him, man. Which he got all the right to feel like that. But it says, as if a man did flee from a lion, you run from the concentration camp. You think you got away. It says, and a bear met him. Now it's giving animals, but this could be any scenario a man get in. You run from a concentration camp and you're in the woods now, a group of cannibals looking for their next meal, you run right into them. Now what? It says, or went into the house. So look, you might get away from that situation. You know, they got you on the back of the truck, about to take you to the place and you jump out. Think you got away, you run in the house, you good, you're safe, the lights off. It says, and went to the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. The Most High got a newly created creature right there. As soon as you turn your back, a newly created creature right there. You see? So this giving a sense as well, ain't gonna be nowhere to run when real judgment come, that this world have never seen before. Verse 20, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very darkness and no brightness in it? You see, I'm gonna get one more or 2 more. We'll see. This is Sirach 5. Now I want to get this because a lot of people comfortable and don't think the times they don't think the times gonna be as it's portrayed in the movies, as we talk about as the prophets. They don't, because I'm gonna say this, people just go off movies too at times. The Most High is far greater than what these people could put in a movie. It's gonna be worse than The Purge, worse than the Book of Eli, worse than The Road. Put them all together, still ain't gonna match up to what Jacob's trouble gonna be, man. If it's had to be put in the Bible multiple times, it's gonna be a time like never before. Guess what? The Most High mean is gonna be a time like never before. This is Sirach chapter 5 and verse 7, straight to the point. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly, key word, suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. This is the point I wanted though. And in thy security, Salakia, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. When somebody, again, just like this, what it said in Thessalonians, when they shall say peace and safety, and they security, when people think they straight or they escape or they did get away, like the TV show almost got away with it. Right, in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in a day of vengeance. And we living in a day of vengeance. The Most High finally about to show who he really is. Remember, Yahushua said, Father, glorify thy name. Then it said it had a voice come from heaven and said, look, I glorified it, and I'm gonna glorify it again. Well, when did he glorify it? Glorify it the first time, when we came out of Egypt. And how did he do it? By bringing judgments. Remember, the scripture says the Most High is known by the judgment which he executed. So how you gonna make his name known again? What he gonna do in this time? There's gonna be a time like never before. And we could read about the things that's in the scriptures that's far out that a person can believe God did that. Guess what? What we read or what we about to go through ain't in the scriptures. It ain't written down yet. It ain't in the movie yet. The movies ain't get an example on what it's gonna be like yet. So we literally about to see things that this man, come on, man. This is about to be a time, man. And the Wadi Yahweh Shemal Shai and Yahweh Shemal Shai watches out, we be covered in that day. Psalms 91. Look, death gonna be all around. It's gonna be close. We probably just gonna be barely escaping it here now. The Lord gonna be getting us through situations and divine intervention. And at the same time, we getting through it. Other people ain't gonna be making it. Man, let's end it off on this fearful thing. This is Hebrews 10:31. It says, "It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power." Yep. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And we got to put emphasis on Yahweh Shai too. Because remember, Yahweh Shai said all judgment given to him. And we know about the Lord. This world know the Lord as a soft lamb. You know, little sweet baby Jesus. No, we know the Lord. He both. He came as the lamb. Even when he came as the lamb, the Lord ain't play, man. read about, man. Hey, Yahweh Shai ain't play when he came. But they just ain't see or know the side of the Lord that he a man of war just like his father is. We know that. We know he was once that death angel. We know that. So we can't count him out either. See? But right, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. So I'm going to end it right there, Lord willing. This lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to once again give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with truth and sincerity. And as well as all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. They keep fighting, keep pushing, and we're almost out of here. And with that, shalom.